Welcome to episode 303 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. I'm Ryan Walton, and as always, I'm joined by Dan Reamer.
It's another beautiful Sunday AM.
Sunday morning, for those that don't understand how the AM and PM work.
Sunday morning coming down.
You know, a lot of people don't know a lot of things, but everyone understands the difference between AM and PM.
I haven't met everyone I don't know. I am about 100% certain that there is someone out there that doesn't get it. Therefore, everyone is not included. Have
you ever encountered someone who just doesn't understand? When you say AM, you mean the morning.
I've actually had a conversation before, and this sticks in my head. I can't make it go away. I've tried to sear it out of my brain. But I had a conversation with a person. We were discussing something, and I said, so you're talking like 10 o'clock a.m.? And he said, no, 10 o'clock in the morning. It's a little conversation.
What could he have confused it with?
I don't know. Like,
what's another AM that he thought?
I don't know.
That's unacceptable.
FM, AM, FM, maybe.
So he thought 10 o'clock radio.
Yeah, it's possible.
10 o'clock shitty radio.
I don't know. I don't live
reception.
in his brain. I don't know.
I don't know if anyone lives in his brain.
I don't think there is. There's not even. No, the elves were sleeping.
Yeah, the little guy that sits up there was on break. He's like, I just went to grab a quick smoke, and now he said something stupid.
Now, to be fair, after that, he was like, wait a minute, that was dumb. He did understand, but the fact that
he knows the difference.
But the fact that it got to that point, that it was enough. So
I understand.
So, yeah, I do know one person who's, yeah.
So we should clarify. We don't want to say AM. We want to say morning. Sunday morning.
No, I'd say AM is fine if you don't know what it is, and
Sunday, not night.
Get out of here.
That was like Scorpion, but the opposite of what he says.
I know.
Get out of here. Then he shoots his little... Does that sound like it? Those games remind me of my childhood, but I don't like them now.
I don't know that I liked them then. I don't think I've ever been a fighting game kid, but when I was younger, it was cool to like the things that everyone else thought was cool. And
that might have been what happened to me, but I fell down the rabbit hole of like Mortal Kombat. I never was a Street Fighter kid, but I loved Mortal Kombat so much so that you remember how old internet was. I would go on old internet, and because you couldn't stay on there forever, I would write down all the cheat codes in like on notebook paper. Not cheat codes, but the move list.
I actually did that with I actually bought graph paper for the first Metroid and graphed out.
Yeah, I like that.
I did. I had it. I had a map.
Those days are gone.
For Metroid. I know. Now you just Google it and go through the walkthrough. No more.
You just watch somebody on a video do it step by step.
Remember when you used to have that thing where for like $16 a minute you could call and get cheat codes or get a walkthrough?
Yeah, I do remember that. I've never called, but I remember it.
I haven't either, but I remember it. I do know people who called, and I remember them telling me. I got yelled at by my mom because it's like $3 a minute.
It's worth it, though.
Hey, you do you.
Well, because back then, that might be the only game you had to play.
That's true.
So you're like, I can't be stuck here.
It's true.
I can't be stuck here forever.
You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, I miss the days of... we're not going to get into it. Red Dead's got cheat codes.
I know. I haven't... I think they void... Usually cheat codes these days void trophies, so...
It says, all the articles I've read that have anything in there say that, like, be aware there may be consequences.
Yeah, and it's probably your trophies don't pop.
I don't know, but that's enough to scare me right off.
Right, yeah, and I'm a firm believer. Consequences make me well aware of things I shouldn't do. And that's the problem with a lot of the world today, is they just don't accept the consequences of their actions.
There may be no consequences for this, but the idea that someone said there might be is enough to scare honest old me right off.
Oh, yeah. I'm not messing with them. I don't ever mess with them in the games.
I don't feel like I would need them so much.
I think they're just a goofy, fun thing.
Yeah.
A lot. Like you had the big head mode. Why you yawning? Now you're making me yawn.
Because it's Sunday, not nighttime.
Sunday morning. Coming down.
If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm doing this little thing early.
Wow.
This little pitch early. Keeping this train on the tracks. But this show posts every Monday at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time on services around the globe, around the world, around the the box, if you like that, if you're one of those people, around the cube that is Earth. You know what I'm talking about, damn flat earthers.
What?
I'm appealing to them also.
Okay, flat is still not a cube, so I don't know. You just made a new one up.
Yeah, but they're all wrong anyway, so it's fine.
I understand they're all wrong. Yeah, flat earthers are the wrongest people in the fucking world.
They think it's shaped like a cereal box.
No, they don't. They just think it's flat. They think you fall off the edge.
Yeah, but that means there's got to be it's got to stop at something. It's got to be a...
No, it's like a flat. They think of it's like a flat piece of paper.
Right. But it has an edge, so it'd be shaped like a rectangle.
A very, very tiny rectangle. I guess it was very, very tiny rectangle. It's more like a flat piece of paper than a cereal box.
I just like cereal. We're going to talk about cereal later on, too, so that's a little foreshadowing. Or foreplay, people call that sometimes.
I actually had cereal for breakfast this morning.
Oh, no, look. They think flat Earth is round. But flat.
Well, it's still flat, but it's like those floppy dog frisbees.
It's like or a coaster.
Yeah.
They think Earth is a coaster. Look at that. We learned something new. And not new, by the way.
I was curious where I left my beer.
Yeah. Yeah, right here on Earth.
Right on the Earth coaster.
Look at all the people just falling off the edges.
People are so stupid. No offense.
Anyways.
No offense, listeners. I hate people.
Yeah. Anyways, if you believe the Earth is round or flat,
hang up.
No, hang up.
No, hit show. Stop. Whatever.
I said flat or round, like a sphere or a coaster.
So regardless of which one you think.
Right. If you appeal to the sphere or the coaster method, that's what we're calling them from now on. No flat earthers, coaster method. Thanks for being here. The show posts every Monday, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. And we get on here, we talk about all the things we want to because we don't have a boss or anyone calling the shots. So it allows us just to freestyle. Dan's yawning again. Quick update on the yawn. Yawn number 2 of the show.
You're boring me.
It's actually yawn 3 because you replied to my yawn with a yawn.
I did. I got bored when you started accepting the flat earthers into our midst.
Yeah, I'm not accepting the belief of the coaster method. What I'm doing is I like to have as many ears as possible. Even if some of those ears are crucially wrong.
That's where you and I differ. I refuse to sacrifice my general principles.
What if it's a coaster? You don't want to be wrong.
It's not a coaster. Stop it.
All the pictures are Photoshopped.
I will hang up. I will hang up. I will disappear from this podcast if you start leaning towards the non-science method of things.
The flat earth is a weird thing to hitch your trailer to.
Yeah, I mean, that's the hill you want to die on?
Yeah,
really?
there's so much proof that it's not. But anyways, if you listen, we love you no matter what, even if you're really wrong.
Ryan is not speaking for me.
Yeah, Dan's still cool with...
I just want to say that.
With you going away, but I'm not. If you want to support us, patreon.com/GameStitch. You can do so over there. We have a flat earth tier. We have a sphere tier. And we don't. That'd be fun, though, right?
We have a sphere tier?
That'd be anything $1, but the flat earth one would be like $500 because those people are really gullible. Like the flat earth tier. It'd be really expensive because they'll just go along with whatever.
No.
Yeah, I think so. Patreon.com/GameStitch.
Yep. Ooh.
See what I did? I brought the October back.
You did.
Bringing Halloween back. Did you have a good Halloween?
Sure. Yeah, it wasn't bad. Oh, we actually didn't do much. My nieces and nephews just came over, and we gave them, little Halloween things, and we both dressed up. And while they came over,
what did you dress up as?
We had dinner. Green Lantern.
You used to be all in for the costumes.
I still am.
But I used to see pictures and...
Oh, well, because we didn't go to any... I usually do that when we go to, parties or something, and we've been in the middle of too much, so we really haven't... I think last year and this year... Yeah, we were just getting... because we do Thanksgiving at our house every year for, 25 people. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, my wife always decides right around October 21st that she wants to do a project in the house. Which leaves me a month.
Did you go as the Ryan Reynolds?
No.
Green Lantern?
No, because that's not a Green Lantern. No. No, I went just a regular old comic book. Hal Jordan.
Not the Ryan Reynolds.
Not the Ryan Reynolds, whoosh, suit.
You got to go with what makes you happy.
I don't know if that movie made anybody happy. I know Ryan Reynolds didn't make Ryan Reynolds happy. I might have bought him a house, but it didn't make him happy.
That's tough because if you made a lot of money to do something, but you weren't super proud of the product.
Well, here's the thing: is I think there's an old famous story about Michael Caine. Generally, considered to be one of the worst films ever made is Jaws: The Revenge. Mm-hmm. Not 84, 83, 83 or 84, 86. I'm sorry. And in an interview, an interviewer asked him, it's considered to be the worst movie you ever made. Did you watch Jaws: The Revenge? And Michael Caine said, "No, I didn't, but I saw the house it bought."
See, that's where I saw it also.
And so there are actors who actually do take jobs just to pay bills or keep their side card, that kind of thing.
But the problem is if you make too many of those bad movies, you stop getting offers.
That's true. But at that point, Michael Caine was already a legend.
Right.
So, and Ryan Reynolds was also pretty well known. So that was kind of his first because he had, if you think about it, before he hit with Deadpool, he did Blade Trinity, generally considered the worst movie of this whole trilogy. And
he looked good in it though. Let's just say that.
He was ripped as fuck. Yeah, he was.
He looked good.
But
it's not. Ryan Reynolds' Blade is a good look. But
it's not. It's not a terribly good movie. And then he did R.I.P.D., which is considered
not good,
bad. That's again based off a comic book. And there was one more. And then the Green Lantern one. 3 bad comic book movies before and then he was still in the running for Deadpool, and he got Deadpool. Oh, Wolverine Origins when he played Deadpool, which is not a good movie either. So, I think it just goes to show you if you have enough charisma and you're a good enough actor, I think you will persevere through those issues.
He wasn't bad. He wasn't the reason Wolverine. He wasn't right. No, wasn't a reason.
No, that was the movie.
Right.
No, that was.
But in the others, he was a critical role that potentially made that movie not good.
Indeed.
He's great as Deadpool, though.
He is wonderful as Deadpool. And R.I.P.D. wasn't necessarily a bad movie. It's just kind of a.
It wasn't necessarily a good movie.
It's like, it's like Bright. It's it's a serviceable.
Shout out to Bright.
It's a serviceable hour and a half time killer.
Speaking of time killer, I played a little more Red Dead. That thing just sucks time away.
Not much. Yeah, it does. I like it.
Yeah, they're like, you got 30 minutes to spare? How about 4 hours? Because it takes that long just to get your horse to where you're going.
Not if you ride, not if you gallop.
Then old Betsy gets tired.
Old Betsy? Is that her name?
I didn't name my horse.
I named my horse.
What'd you name it?
Logan.
Of course. Hey, fun fact, you can't name your horse swear words.
No, you cannot.
So
you can't.
I think it has to do with Red Dead Online, which we'll only refer to as RDO going forward, because I like that.
RDO.
That's what they're calling it. On RDO, I'm sure they don't want you don't want to be riding fuckface.
Right, because then you'll have to pay $10 to change the name at some point, and I'm sure it's going to lose all your save data.
That's a dig for PlayStation, anyone not familiar. You lose all your V-Bucks for Fortnite if you change your horse's name.
Yeah, I named my horse Logan. Actually, are you still on the same horse? Or did you get a new one?
Tennessee Walker still.
You're still on Tennessee Walker?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bought a new one.
I like that horse. That horse is like smaller than everybody else's horse, though.
It is smaller. That's why I don't like it. I feel like I'm riding a donkey.
Yeah, but I feel like if I have to get a big horse, I'm overcompensating.
Well, I have a horse that actually is bigger, but it also runs faster and handles better. So,
yeah. How many hands tall is your horse?
I haven't checked. I want to say I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna say probably 10.
I don't like that's how they measure a horse.
11. It doesn't make sense to me either. But I understand. I wish everything was measured by hands. To be honest with you.
You like hands better than feet?
I'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I do like hands better than feet.
I think most people do. I think most people would go team hands.
Now, I get it.
Did you name your horse after Logan Paul?
I did not.
Okay.
Because I actually have my character actually looks like Old Man Logan, Arthur Morgan. Actually,
mine does too because I shave the goatee.
I have mutton chops and I have like a high and tight kind of.
Yeah, I do too.
So he looks like Old Man Logan. So I named my horse Logan in keeping with the Wild West Logan.
Do you pomade your hair?
I do not.
Sometimes I go for a pomade.
I don't feel like I do like taking a bath though.
Solo bath or do you get company?
So far I've only done it solo.
Okay.
I've only been because it's been to wash up.
Right.
To clean myself up. Because I do like being clean. I like my character. I like Arthur to be clean. Art. Yeah. I'm going to call him Art from here on out.
Okay, so we're talking Art and RDO.
Good old Art Morgan. Yeah.
Yeah. Good old Artie. I like Red Dead a lot. I'm too early to give any deeper impressions. That game, like I said, it's a giant time suck for me. So I can't get on and play for 30 minutes, and that's how I like to play games. So I'm finding it hard to get time to play.
Mm-hmm. Well, I finally got mine. Remember last week we were talking. I was still done finishing up the week and a half of installs and updates. So I finally got into it. I'm actually further along than you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Not because I have more time, but because of our time situation, I can get on before you. I get on my PS4 before you, and I am able to do some things through there. Now I am farther along than you. I like the slow pace of the game. It's different. It's not what most video games are. It wants you to take your time and meander through the world, which I like. It's not run and gun to the other. That's what I miss about a lot of other games is I'm playing them and someone will talk about how great something looks. And I'm like, wow, I totally missed that because I was too busy trying not to get shot in the face and making sure I was shooting other people in the face.
Right.
And that's not something that really happens here. Some of the controls are pretty intricate, though. It's taking some figuring out for...
So this is like the first mission you do outside of, like, past Chapter 2.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to sneak up. You get throwing knives. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But because I don't understand how to play this game yet, I walked up to hit this guy with a throwing knife. What I did was pull out my pistol, shoot him in the back of the head, and alert the entire camp that I was there. That seems to be a pretty popular thing for me to do.
Yeah, it's just, so the biggest thing I have trouble with basically is switching gun types. Because I'm trying to do it without going into the menu.
I'll always go in the menu.
And I'm not sure if there's a way to do it.
You're talking about the weapon wheel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always go into that.
Because when I'm riding my horse, I'll get off my horse and I'll do something and I'll get back on. And before I had my rifle was my go-to. Or bow, one of them. But all of a sudden, I'll go to shoot something, and I'll hit my, pop my gun out, and it's a revolver. I'm like, what the fuck happened? So I have to change it every time I get on and off my horse, which is a little annoying because I forget that I have to do that.
Did you have you skinned a rabbit yet?
I've skinned a lot of things.
Yeah, skinning a rabbit for me, that was the most brutal skinning I've seen so far.
Oh, where he just gives a little slice and just rip?
Yeah, he's just holding it by the back legs, cuts a little circle around it, and just rips the skin off of it.
Yeah, I do like hunting, but I'm not good at hunting.
Yeah, I've took down a turkey, I took down a rabbit, and those were just on the way to go do that mission. The only mission I did in Chapter 2.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, I like that game. We've been playing a lot more Rocket League.
Uh-huh.
Chipping away at the Rocket Pass.
Yes, we have.
So, We're getting there.
I shouldn't have played last night.
You were tired.
I was tired when I got on.
Mm-hmm.
Which means I was already borderline cranky.
Right.
And all it takes is, when you're tired and already borderline cranky, all it takes is one bad moment in Rocket League to completely push you over the edge to completely fucking angry. And that's where I got.
Right.
And then, like an idiot, I kept playing.
Which is an odd choice because it's not going to get better.
Right. And I know it's not going to get better, but I'm like, I want to play Rocket League. So I keep playing through it, and I played 4 games last night, and 2 of them were fucking really bad. Just me horrible, not us horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So I was finally like, yep, this is going to be my last one. And I don't think I even said goodnight to any of you guys.
You definitely did not. You just...
I think I just was like... I was like, fuck it. I was just so angry and tired. I was like, fuck it. I told him what I was doing. I don't give a fuck. Off. Away I go.
Just rage quit.
I did not mean any... It wasn't a rage quit. I finished out the game. I did not mean any disrespect to any of you guys. I was just tired and not thinking properly. And angry and
rage quitty.
Well, okay, fine. Well,
a little bit, just like slightly.
You are insisting that I rage quit. I didn't. You know what? If a good buddy, Marshall 205, doesn't fall asleep, then I don't rage quit.
He does fall asleep, though, and you did rage quit. Both those things happen.
To me, a rage quit is when you just shut her down in the middle of a game. I didn't. I finished off the game.
Anytime there's not a goodbye, it's a rage quit.
I disagree with that statement entirely.
Because you left in a fit of rage.
I wouldn't say it was a fit of rage. No, I don't think I was.
You said, fuck it, I'm done. And then it was like, Dan is offline.
It wasn't that quickly. No, I said, fuck it, I'm done. This is going to be my last game. With 2 minutes left.
And it was silence. It was rage silence.
It was. I did not make a noise. You're right.
For that 2 minutes.
That's right.
It's fine. It's fine. If you're good with it, I'm good with it.
I'm good with it.
Then we're gonna move past this.
Back to RDR for a second.
RDO.
No, I'm not talking Red Dead Online.
RDR2.
I'm talking RDR2. Do you like your character?
You mean the way he looks?
No, who he is.
Who, Art?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with Art. I'm so early that I don't think it would be fair for me to say definitively that I don't have any beef with Arthur.
I don't either. My problem is there's some parts in the game where I want to do something. I wish it gave you better choices. It gives you the choices of greet, antagonize, all that. But when you greet, a lot of times when you greet somebody, you're still being a fucking asshole to that dude.
Yeah. The problem I've encountered now, again, still really early on, I was riding by somebody's camp yesterday, and I was like, let me get off and talk to this fella.
And
I get off, he's like, you best keep walking, coward. Then he pulls his gun out and starts shooting at me.
Uh-huh.
I didn't do anything at all. I didn't have my weapon out. All I did was get off my horse. So
right.
He had to die.
Right, exactly. There you go.
I killed him, and I stole all his stuff, and then I was wanted. But nobody saw me do it.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. And then a bunch of people come out and are like, I can't wait to arrest you. And so, some more people had to die.
I guess somebody must have... I shot a horse thief and nothing happened. A dude stole my horse. A dude on the side of the road. And he's like, hey, can you help me a second? So I jumped off.
Oh, you jumped off and he jumped on?
And he's like, yeah, thanks. Jumped on and I just, boom, right in the back. Because I don't have any honor. I don't give a shit.
Did you bullet time him?
I didn't. Yeah, I dead-eyed him.
Yeah, dead-eye. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
Focus time.
I dead-eyed him. I dead-eyed him. Dead-eyed? 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 I guess either way, it's fine.
Dead-eyed.
I dead-eyed him and shot him right in the back of the head. Because you don't steal my horse, motherfucker.
Right. More fucker. What else did you play? Just Rocket League?
And
RDR2?
Yeah, just Rocket League and RDR2.
I don't like... RDR2 doesn't roll off the...
Well, I like RDO, too. I'm curious how RDO is going to be. I've read some leaks about what's in it, and... I mean, is it going to be like a... I'm curious. How am I trying to explain it?
It's going to be like Grand Theft Auto online.
But it's going to be slower.
I mean, your movement speed, yes.
Like, everything that's happening is going to be slower. Because nobody else is in cars or helicopters or any of those things. So, it's all going to be...
Unless they add cars.
I can't wait to fucking rob a train.
What if they add cars?
They're not adding cars. Not in 1899.
What if they add early cars?
They weren't invented for purchase until later on.
I don't think you know the date they were invented.
I don't, but it wasn't later on. It was later on.
It was definitely after this game.
It is. That's why they were in for mass production. Yes. That's why they were
a one-off though.
That's why they were
steam-powered.
In Red Dead Redemption and not Red Dead Redemption 2.
What if you get like a steam-powered like a train, like a single train thing?
I want one of those pump things.
Yeah, I'm okay with those too. And I want to get hit by a train while I'm trying to do one. That seems fun. Did you play anything else besides the Extraordinary League of Rockets and RDO?
You know, I don't think I did. No.
That's all I played also.
I'm leaning real heavy into the RDR too.
Also. I don't like RDR too. I don't like saying that. RDR.
Do you have the companion yet?
No, I heard it's good.
It is good. It's so much easier to track your map on
That's what I've heard.
Than it is
free too for people that don't know. Scoop that up.
It's free. Get it. I got it.
For free. Let's jump into the news.
Okay.
We're list heavy up front. You're welcome.
Up front? It's list heavy the whole fucking way through because that's what you bring to the table.
What's really list heavy up front? There's some stories at the end.
So glad you're back.
List number 1. New game releases for November 2018. That's the month we're in. November, right before the Christmas.
I do believe today would be the 4th day of that, by the way.
Yeah, may the 4th be with you.
No, that's different. That's May 4th.
November 4th be with you.
Although we do have N7 Day coming up.
All right. It doesn't do anything for me, but I understand that you celebrate it.
I do celebrate it.
You'll wear your hoodie that day.
I just might.
The releases for November 2018. These first couple are already out. The Quiet Man, PC, PS4, and Diablo 3 Eternal Collection for the Switch.
You getting it?
Can already. If somebody else gets it, I don't know that I'm hankering to play it on the Switch.
I get that.
I'd like to play it again on the PS4 though. Quiet Man is interesting to me. I need that on sale though.
I get that.
Yeah. Then we go to, I think this is Deracine.
It is.
Maybe I'm saying that incorrectly. That's a PSVR. That is From Software's PSVR game. So
expect it to be incredibly hard because that's what
spooky and kooky. I think is what we'll go with.
Spooky and kooky. Like
that is
the
November
Addams
6th.
Family.
Yeah, that is November 6th for PS4, and remember that is PSVR only. Also on the 6th, we have Overkill's The Walking Dead for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, which I could swear that this game was already out.
I was just going to say, fun fact, Ryan thought this was already out.
Not only did I think this was already out, I thought this was out like a year ago.
That was a different Walking Dead game. That was one released for the mobile, I think.
I don't know. I thought this was already out. I guess it looks fine. Also on the 6th, World of Final Fantasy Maxima for Xbox One and Switch. Nothing excited me about the Final Fantasy. Nothing excited me about the Walking Dead. But I will get Deracine or Daciana, however you say it.
It's not like that.
Yeah, it's probably not.
I know it's not.
It looks all right to me. You seen anything on it?
I have. Yeah, it looks interesting. I got to get back into VR. I really do.
Yeah, you got to dust yours off.
I keep thinking about it, and then I don't, and then I'm like, oh, maybe I'll do it tonight, and then I don't. And the problem is like you said, it's pulling it out and staying in it for a little bit, and I don't know that I have that kind of time.
Here's the crazy thing about VR, and I've talked about it several times. Like, I got to get it out. I got to set it up. It might be 3 minutes of prep time.
It's not much, but it's still doing
Maybe
it.
3 minutes of prep time.
But I also have to move stuff in my room, and
that sucks. My old house was that way.
You know, which is really just push a chair back. But I push the chair back. That's what I use, because you said you put tape on the ground.
Well, at the old house, I use a mat. At the new house, I bought like a cheap kitchen mat.
See, what I have is I use I push my chair, my recliner, all the way back, and I open up the legs. Mm-hmm. I open it up, and that's what I use. I back up, and I keep my legs back down. Keep touching that.
Yeah.
Because that's about 3 foot wide, so that gives me the sideways movement I need. And
I bought a mat at Walmart for like $1.50. It's one of those like thin foam kitchen mats, and I just throw it on the ground for reference. But I've transitioned to playing most things sitting.
Have you?
Yeah. Like even Firewall, which I'm a big fan of. It's a tactical shooter. I play that sitting down.
So you just use the... Do you use the move controllers, though?
No, I use the gun for that.
How do you move with it? You teleport?
No, you walk with the stick, actually.
Oh.
So you walk with the stick on the back of the gun, and then when your left or right are actually... think of like if you blink your eyes.
Yeah.
So when you hit right, you blink your eyes, and you've moved just a little bit, basically. It's like a super quick transition, but it's not a smooth turn.
Gotcha.
Which makes it less jarring. You can do the smooth turn, but I don't like it as much. I really like that game, though.
I know, you've said that.
Yeah, I'm excited because our good friend Sleepy Time 205 is picking up
a VR.
And he's getting Firewall.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. So
maybe I might have to pick it up then.
Maybe some tactical shooting going on. Maybe, just maybe. Back to the list. November 8th, Rod 3 for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. On November 13th, we have Hitman 2 for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. SNK 40th Anniversary Collection for the Switch, and Spyro Reignited Trilogy for PS4 and Xbox One. On November 14th, we have a little game called Fallout 76 for PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Are you getting this?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
When it comes out?
Maybe not when it comes out. There'll be a buy two get one free right around the corner because they do one on Black Friday.
I don't know that'll be on it.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know that it's. I'm worried. I don't know that it's going to be good.
People aren't necessarily in love with the beta, but I will say I have a friend who's playing the beta and he very much loves it. And he said for him, it reminds him of Fallout 3, but with building. And that was my favorite Fallout.
Yeah, that was my favorite Fallout too.
He said it's a callback to the olden days.
But there's like no NPCs or anything. It's my understanding.
It's just you and other people, yeah.
Right.
But we'd be in the world together.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Yeah, so there's that. But it could be like No Man's Sky, where we were in the world together, but everybody was doing their own thing.
Yeah, could be.
And I don't know if that's a ton of fun. I don't know. I'm gonna get it. On November 15th, we have Underworld Ascendant for PC. It's probably not good. Switch is finally getting some Civilization. That'll be fun.
Maybe Kate Beckinsale's in it, though.
I love Kate Beckinsale.
Oh, me too.
So Civilization coming to the Switch on the 16th. Also on the 16th, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. So get excited about that for the Switch. On November 20th, we're getting Battlefield 5. PS4, Xbox One, PC. Not the Battle Royale mode. Remember, we told you last week that pushed till...
That got pushed back.
Spring of next year or whatever. Warframe coming to Switch on the 20th also. People excited about that. And Wreckfest going to PS4, Xbox One on the 20th also. On November 27th, you're going to get Darksiders 3 for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. On the 28th, you're going to get Artifact for PC, which I believe is the Dota card game.
I think so.
And then on November 30th, you're going to get Katamari Reroll for the Switch and PC. I love Katamari.
So what are you excited for on this list this month?
Let me take you through it. I want to play Quiet Man, gonna get it cheap.
There's a reason I'm asking.
I'm going to play Daracene or Darshana.
That's not it.
And then we're going to scroll all the way down to Fallout 76, which I'm going to play. I will play Spyro Reignited if I catch it on the cheap. I don't care to get it right now. And I wouldn't mind having Civilization for the Switch, and I would not mind having Katamari, but those are extras. If Wreckfest is ever $2, I'll buy that too.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Dare Scene.
Or Daska.
That's not it. Fallout 76, I'm on the fence on. I'll probably end up getting it just because you guys will. And we'll have something else for all of us to game in.
Yeah.
And Darksiders 3. I like the Darksiders games.
I haven't played them enough to. I have 1 and 2, but I haven't just.
I beat 1 and 2. And
I haven't given.
I very much enjoy them. And here's the reason I ask. Out of this, there's 3 or 4 games that we're excited about. Well, I remember just 5-6 years ago when November was the month for premiere releases.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Yeah. I think now the problem is it's a September, October, November situation.
And I guess it's interesting to me how quickly that's happened.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking 5 years.
Yeah.
And it's just, now we've gone from big releases in 1 month to big releases in a 3-4 month span. I mean, you got big games coming out now in March.
Yeah, I mean, I assume that it's a product of people trying to get out of each other's way. Like, if you're a Fallout, you don't want to release with whatever.
Right.
Battlefield. Even though those two games aren't doing the same thing, you don't want to release alongside them.
Right. So it's to me, it's just interesting that there are that many big budget titles that people are excited for that they expanded the calendar to stay out of each other's way. I just think that's really interesting when you run across people who are like, oh, games today, there's nothing to play, games suck. That's not true.
There's so many games.
There are so many games. Maybe that's the problem. Is it an over-delusions of games? Are we just so inundated with them that we can't make a choice?
I mean, probably. I mean, I think if you look at this list, I think the answer is probably Fallout 76, Battlefield, and that's probably it for your big games.
Yeah.
I know people like Hitman 2. I know people are excited about Diablo on Switch, but if we're talking like big games, we're probably talking Battlefield and Fallout. But you have 2 big games coming out almost every single month.
Right. Minimum. That's a minimum.
And that can be overwhelming. Yeah, look at the Q1 of next year is super jacked.
And it costs, and it's money.
Yeah, but some of it's also a product of these games not being ready on time. I'm sure they were holiday games. They're not ready. They push into Q1, Q2 of next year.
Yeah. That happens too. That's true.
Yeah. You're right, though. It's different for sure.
Than it used to be, no doubt. Movies are the same way. I mean, look, the summer blockbuster season, again, starts in March.
Right.
You know, it goes from March through October.
It's a blockbuster when they put a big movie out.
Right.
Month be damned. Season be damned.
All right, moving on.
Free shit.
Xbox One, as always, is doing their games with gold for November 2018. For the Xbox One, they're giving us Battlefield 1 from November 1st to the 30th.
It's a big deal.
That's a good one. Race the Sun from November 16th to December 15th, which, from my understanding, was a lot of fun. I haven't played it yet.
It's fun. It was free on PlayStation.
Right.
Earlier.
And then we have Victor Vran from September 16th to November 15th.
Just for transparency, I don't know what the fuck Victor Vran is.
Me either. It sounds like a Van Helsing game. For the Xbox 360, we've got Assassin's Creed from November 1st to the 15th. And Dante's Inferno from November 16th to the 30th. Dante's Inferno was good. That was a good time. That was a fun game.
Would it still be good, though?
I'd have to go back and try it. Maybe I'll do that and see. Because I enjoyed that game. I really did. It was like God of War light. God of War without the God of War name. We also have PlayStation doing their PS Plus games for November 2018. For the PS4, we've got Bulletstorm, the full clip edition. Yakuza Kiwami. We have Burly Man at Sea, which is also on the Vita. And Roundabout, which will also be cross-play on the Vita. And for the PS3, we've got the Jackbox Party Pack 2 and RDO series.
Yeah. Here's how I feel about both of those lineups. They're probably pretty good for the people who like that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
People like Bulletstorm. People love the Yakuza, and I have a Yakuza game that I never played. I want to get into Yakuza because it seems like my kind of thing.
It's so hard, though.
But I just, I don't know.
I think I played the first one that came out on the PS3. And it just kind of took you all over. I am excited about Burly Men at Sea because I've been wanting to play that, but I haven't wanted to play it enough to pay for it.
I paid for it.
Did you play it?
I got in and I started it and I was like, okay, this isn't what I thought it was, and I got out.
Oh, really? What is it?
It was just them talking and no options. You were just clicking the button to go through it in the part that I played. There was no gameplay at all, and I was like, okay, well, I might have just bought a narrative experience and didn't realize it.
Well, that's how 3-4's Home was.
Yeah, but at least you were like controlling the car, like you were just hitting X. Roundabout looks fun. It's like a silly driving thing.
A silly driving game? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the big game here is Battlefield 1.
Oh, no doubt. And probably, I don't know what the one is for the PlayStation.
It's probably Yakuza.
Probably. I played Bulletstorm. I don't need to play it again. I'll probably get Yakuza.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for free, why not give it a shot?
Why not? Why not at least add it to the library?
That's right.
Moving on to list number 4. You're welcome, everybody. You're welcome.
Yeah.
You are welcome. The PlayStation Classic had their full game list revealed by Sony. A lot of mixed feelings on this. I want to go through the list and then I want to get your thoughts on the list. There are 20 titles for the PlayStation Classic. Remember, this is their response to the NES Classic and SNES Classic.
Indeed.
So the miniature PlayStation 1 is coming with Battle Arena Toshinden, Cool Borders 2, Destruction Derby, Final Fantasy VII, Grand Theft Auto, Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Metal Gear Solid, Mr. Driller, Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, Rayman, or Rayman.
It's not Rayman.
Resident Evil Director's Cut.
It's not Ramen. It's not Raymond. It's not Raymond.
I love ramen. Revelations Persona, Ridge Racer Type 4, Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Siphon Filter or Siphon Filter, Tekken 3, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, Twisted Metal, and Wild Arms. That's the full list of the 20 games.
Tell me some more about that Siphon Filter.
Siphon Filter. That's how some people like it. They like a hard fawn on it.
Is that as good as almond milk?
Almond milk, yeah. I love almond milk.
And I love me an almond joy.
Some almond joy. What do you think about this list?
I actually think it's pretty representative of what the PlayStation was. I think it really does. It pulls out enough of I can tell you none of these games are going to hold up.
Right.
None of them. And we've talked about it before. The thing with the Nintendo stuff is that we're far enough removed for nostalgia to be a factor. I don't think that's the case with the PlayStation. So, I think it's a good representation of that generation. There's really nothing I can think of off the top of my head that I think is missing. I don't think any of these are going to be fun to play.
So the complaints that you're hearing around the web are, it should be Destruction Derby 2, which is a far superior game. It should be Grand Theft Auto 2. It should be Rainbow Six. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six probably shouldn't be on here. It should be Twisted Metal 2. And what's the other one people are... Revelations Persona. They're saying that game was not... That does not remind you of Sony. They're putting that on there because Persona has become Sony. It's become a PlayStation thing. When you think Persona, you think PlayStation, but that wasn't the case back then. I don't know. I don't have a problem with the list. Is it worth $100? You have to decide that. You're not going to play a lot of this. The polygonal stuff does not hold up. But will it be cool to plug this thing in, turn it on, and jump in Twisted Metal with a friend? Probably.
Yeah, I'm not. I realize you're in a different situation than me, so you're picking this up. I'm not interested in this at this point.
If nothing else, it needs to be on the shelf beside the other two. For me.
That's for you. And I understand that for you.
Yeah.
For me, it does not. Like, I actually do every now and then turn on my NES Mini or my SNES Mini, and cycle through and play some of the games. But I don't see me doing that with the PlayStation. I mean, I tried it with PlayStation, with the PS1 classics that they had on the PS3. Mm-hmm. I tried playing Siphon Filter. I loved that game when I had a PlayStation. Holy shit, does that game suck to play now?
Siphon Filter.
Siphon. Siphon Filter.
Siphon?
Siphon.
What's the kid's name in Heavy Rain? That's how he says it.
It is.
I can't remember the kid's name.
I'm trying to think of the kid's name now. Me either. I can hear him. He's yelling it over and over again.
Yeah, Ethan Mars is screaming it, but I can't remember the kid's name.
Jason!
Oh, Jason? He says it like Siphon?
Jason!
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 Jason?
Jason!
Keep in mind, this list is similar, but not identical to the Japan version, the Japanese version. They are more RPG heavy over there, so they do have a different list if you want to import one. Yes. Don't ask me how that works, but that's an option.
By RPG, I'm pretty sure he means JRPG.
Yeah, but since they're in Japan, it's just RPG. They don't call it JRPG over there.
How do you know? Maybe they do.
That'd be weird. They don't do that.
So what do they call? So over here they call them what? USA RPG?
Westerns.
In Japan?
Western RPGs.
It's a Western RPG?
Mm-hmm. But over here we just call them RPGs because we're already here.
That's true.
Yeah.
We're not living in the land of the rising sun.
That's true. We're not. If you're wondering why Sony's doing this, it's because over 10 million SNES Classics and NES Classics consoles have been sold. Nintendo released that information, and that's massive.
That is a lot.
That's a lot. A lot.
I don't see PlayStation matching this.
Probably not. Nintendo games do hold up because the way the art is done, the 2D stuff holds up. Nintendo carries so much nostalgia for almost everyone. And
that's the key, is the nostalgia factor of it. Yeah. And I don't think we're at a point where the PlayStation has that yet.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of hipsters, a lot of people my age will buy these PlayStations. I don't think they're not going to sell, but they're not going to do these numbers.
No, not at all. I'm sure they will sell because there's a number of collectors out there, such as yourself. Mm-hmm. But they're not going to sell the Nintendo numbers. No. I mean, the perfect example of this is if you look on any of your indie games, what do you see? You see the sprites. You see the 8-bit.
It holds up.
And that's coming back because of the nostalgia. That's what they're making. That's what new developers are making based off that nostalgia factor. You don't see any of those crappy polygons.
Yeah, nobody's making a shitty looking game because when they do that, everybody goes, "It looks like a PS1 game."
Right.
Like that has become a put down.
Life of Black Tiger.
Like that's an insult to say it looks like a PS1 game.
Exactly.
If you say it looks like an NES game, you don't mean any harm by saying that.
You're no disrespect meant. You're talking about capitalizing on the nostalgia of that. Yep.
Hats off to Nintendo. They also released a update to their lifetime sales for everything, basically. I want to take you through a couple of those lists. Not a lot of shakeup at the top of the list, but for Switch at number 1, Super Mario Odyssey at 12.17 million units. Then we go to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Splatoon 2, 1-2 Switch, Mario Tennis Aces, so that's a new one to kind of pop up there. Mm-hmm. ARMS, Kirby Star Allies, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, and then rounding out the list of 10, the Xenoblade Chronicles at 1.53 million to give you a spread between first and last.
And they have also released Nintendo 3DS global game sales. We've got Mario Kart 7 at the top. Next, we've got Pokemon XY. Then we've got Pokemon Sun Moon. Then we've got Pokemon Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. We have New Super Mario Bros. 2, Super Mario 3D Land, Animal Crossing, New Leaf, Super Smash Bros. For 3DS, which is one of my favorite titles of all time, Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and Tomodachi Life. And just to give you an idea, Mario Kart 7 was at 17.04 million, with Tamagotchi Life rounding out the bottom at 6.2 million, just to give you that range.
Interesting that the last game on the list for 3DS would be high enough for 5th on the Switch list.
Right.
But, I mean, also, obviously, all those things have been out much longer.
A lot more time to work with.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Very big spread on the Switch list, going from 12.7 million units all the way to 1.53.
Yeah.
Big spread. No one likes a big spread more than me. But, it's large spread.
Mm.
Let's talk about a large spread. RDR2 had a massive launch. Massive. But still couldn't beat GTA 5. But
it's true.
There's some people calling shenanigans on what I'm about to talk about.
There's some wordplay going on here.
So
there's some we'll call it manipulation of the facts.
The company announced that RDR2 achieved 725 million during its opening weekend, making it one of the biggest launches in all times.
The biggest launch of all time. Isn't it?
Here's where it gets complicated.
The biggest opening weekend of all time.
The biggest opening weekend of all time. It did not, however, beat Grand Theft Auto in the first week because it came out on a Tuesday.
It came out on a Tuesday. RDR2 came out on a Friday. Therefore, It had its largest opening weekend of any form of entertainment ever. Books.
Right.
Music.
Just to give you a little
movies.
clarity, Avengers Infinity War made 257 million in its opening weekend.
Yes.
So, tell me again how big movies are, please, old people.
Not fair.
Mm-hmm.
You're missing a very important fact.
Tell me how big.
A movie ticket costs $12. A game costs $60.
That's their call. They could charge $60 for a movie ticket.
But that's where the numbers are skewed.
257 million versus 725.
That is straight up money spent on.
So Grand Theft Auto, I don't think we have the number here. Grand Theft Auto did $1 billion in its first week. It is very likely that Red Dead will also achieve that mark in a week's time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think these games are going to be pretty fair. I don't even know what I want to say. They're going to be pretty even. I want to make a golf reference. It didn't work.
They're pretty much going to be on par with each other.
Pretty much on par with each other is what I wanted to say, but it wasn't happening. This is huge, but I would be interested to see, and we probably never will, the budget of RDR2.
Yeah, it's probably significantly larger than whatever the budget for Avengers Infinity War was.
What's probably significantly larger than Grand Theft Auto 5.
I would think
probably
so.
Significantly larger than Red Dead Redemption 2, or the first one, Red Dead Redemption, I should say. Not 2. This one's 2.
It is 2.
Red Dead Redemption also. I could have said that.
More than likely, yeah.
Just the advertising budget alone was probably bigger on this one. It would just be interesting to see. I think 300 million to 400 million probably, just to make that game.
That's probably fair, yeah.
So if you're wondering why games like this don't come out, why everybody can't do this, is there are very few studios who can float that kind of money out.
Right.
The years, the time, the amount of people, it can't be done by most places. I see people conservatively saying 250 million. I don't think so. I don't think that's enough. I don't think I buy that. I also keep seeing people say that, is it worth it? Is Red Dead worth it? I'm like, it's probably worth $400.
Right. I mean, once you take into account, it depends on what you're looking to get out of the experience, I think. For me, the amount of time I spend in it, I've probably got $50 worth, which means I only need another $10 worth.
Yeah, but I've had people ask me, is Red Dead worth it?
I don't know what that means.
They could easily have charged $200 for that game, and it would have been worth it.
Right. As large as it is, everything you can do in it, how it looks. I mean, really, I haven't run across a single bug.
Yeah, games are not going to continue to be $60. It's not going to happen.
No, they're going to have to go up.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah, so everybody just needs to buckle up. VentureBeat is saying that Grand Theft Auto cost that $265 to make.
$265 million.
And they're saying around $600 million for Red Dead. So that would be my guess. That even sounds a little high, but I know some of that's marketing. But yeah, I would say that $644 million is what they're saying across the 7 years to make it.
Interesting.
And then marketing, total cost for marketing and development, they're saying almost $1 billion, $944 million. I don't know how VentureBeat's calculating it, but I would say that game was very, very expensive to produce. So when you see $750 million in the opening weekend, that's awesome. But there's still money to be made here. And, Red Dead Online is where they're going to make all their money, I assume. That's where they're making all their money on.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Kind of think RDO, as we like to call it.
RDO Speedwagon.
RDO Speedwagon.
That's what I think every time.
No, it's horrible. I lost the news here.
What's happening?
I don't know.
You don't need the news. We're just riffing.
Are we?
I mean, that story's done. We're just talking.
I mean, what if there's something I got to follow, though?
I mean, that story's over.
I lost it. I don't know where it went.
It's fine. I'll guide this thing.
Okay. You do that. Guide away.
I mean, are you done talking about RDR?
Captain.
Are you done with RDR 2?
I'm done with RDR 2, yeah.
Okay.
I still enjoy it. Are you?
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. We've talked about it a lot. I just didn't know if you were done with that story. You just abruptly quit and started looking at your phone.
Well, because I couldn't. All of a sudden, I was getting ready for the next story, and I couldn't find it. I made all my crap go away.
We told you last week No Man's Sky had a spooky update coming. It's called The Abyss.
Spooky.
So, Dan posed the question, what part of No Man's Sky is spooky? The answer is none of it. Which is why they've added underwater stuff.
So now it's spooky. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, it wasn't spooky, but now they're going to make it spooky.
Gotcha.
They've added more detail to underwater environments. Some heavily reworked gameplay elements for exploring depths of a planet. So we're going to get deep water now. It introduces 5 times more variety for aquatic environments. A variety of creature behaviors. Underwater creatures appear more frequently, and more unique, scary underwater creatures have been added. You can also explore sunken wrecks to scavenge their cargo, customize a new submarine called Nautilon, and build underwater base operations with dozens of new base parts. There's also a story scenario called The Dreams of the Deep. In it, you'll uncover mysteries of a stranded crew or someone lost in the depths of an ocean. It looks rad.
It looks kind of neat.
I like underwater.
I know you do.
It does look spooky, too. See, that's kind of spooky looking at you?
No.
No?
It doesn't really look spooky.
Looks spooky to me.
It looks like you're underwater.
Underwater's spooky. The ocean is spooky.
No, spooky and scary are two different things. Spooky is like a combination of kooky and scary. And this is just scary. Underwater is just scary.
I have read, it's not part of this article, but I've read that you can expect to go to planets that are totally covered in water. So,
oh wow,
a lot more water exploration.
I don't know if that sounds fun to me.
They have diving tech now, so you don't have to constantly come up for air, because I know that's what everybody's thinking about right now.
Yeah, that's a pain in the ass too.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited about this. I got to get back into No Man's Sky, but it's slipping back on the list a little bit just because I have so much going on.
Oh, I hear you.
I could easily probably play Red Dead till February and not finish it.
Yeah, I feel like I want to be into Red Dead for a long time. I really like that world. Mm-hmm. I'm a Western guy myself. I like, the movies and books and stuff, TV shows. So, I kind of want to spend some time in that world and see what happens.
Next story, and a super important one. Lucio from Overwatch is getting his own cereal.
Oh my god.
They're called Lucios. Lucios.
They're called Lucios, which is just dumb. They should just call them Lucios.
Lucios.
Right?
Lucios I kind of like too. The announcement came out of BlizzCon 2018. It's based on a joke from Overwatch, but he's getting an actual real cereal from Kellogg's. There's already a full commercial for the Lucios.
I believe they showed that at BlizzCon, didn't they?
That's apparently one of his sprays.
Yeah, he's a healer, I think. He's a DJ who uses music and sound to heal.
Mm-hmm. Here's why I put this story on here. Because we don't play Overwatch.
No. Overwatch is still a big deal.
Well, I don't even care about that. The reason I put it on here is because if there could be any serial tie-in for any game that you play, so this comes with a loot box.
Yes, it comes with codes and stuff. You get items for the game.
So any cereal for any game, what would you, knowing it's going to come with some in-game content, what would you like? Think about it. It's got to work with cereal too.
I know. I'm trying to think. I guess Lucio's works.
Yeah, Rocket League cereal would be okay too.
Yeah, but what do you call it? I'm trying to think of a kooky name.
Yeah.
You know. I got
You
nothing.
could call it like Boost by, and then make it Rocket League themed.
Boostios?
Why do you put an O on everything?
I don't know.
Not everything has an O on it.
A Booster Crunch.
Yeah, you could call it Rocket League Crunch.
Boost Crunch.
They'll want that Rocket League name in there. But you can make the cars out of marshmallows. I think a Lucky Charms type situation.
The cars, you just the Octane, the Dominus, and the van.
The Merc.
It'd
just be a square marshmallow.
Should be.
It'd be a square marshmallow.
Would be the three that you make.
I think that would be easy because they could do easy DLC for that. You get a boost trail by buying a box or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Rocket Legos.
You're stuck on the O's thing. Super Mario had a cereal. I picked it up. It came with an amiibo tag, RFID tag that was inside the box. There's been a lot of cereals over the years. Sonic Rings.
Didn't Donkey Kong have a cereal?
Yeah, I think so. They should have called that Kong Crunch.
Kong Crunch, you're right.
So the cereal tie-in is not a new thing.
With a K.
Yeah.
Kellogg's did a Pokemon cereal.
Yeah, it's not a new thing, but I like the idea of more video games getting into this, and I like the idea of them tying DLC to the things to get kids to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Fortnite cereal's got to happen, right?
I would think so.
Fortnite Crunch?
No.
Okay, I'll do it your way. Fortnite-O's. Fortnite-O's?
No, Fortnite Crunch isn't right.
What about Battle Royale Crunch?
No. Why you gotta have Crunch in everything?
Same reason you gotta put O's on it.
We are definitely not cereal people.
What about mini frosted Fortnites?
No. How about Fortnite Flakes?
I like that.
I think that works.
As long as they are frosted Fortnite Flakes.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You gotta be a psychopath to just eat flakes.
The only time I eat just a regular flakes is when they come in the boxes that have like fruit and yogurt and those. I'll eat them then. But no, I'm not just pouring a bag of pounded out flattened corn into my fucking bowl and chowing down. I don't do that.
I also don't do that. Last story, and this one's on here because it's a great story and also for a little redemption for me. Because Dan has long fought me on this. Farmers in Australia are suffering through an extended drought, and the developers of Farming Simulator franchise are stepping in to make a significant donation to the relief efforts. The game's distribution partner around the world, including 5 Star Games and Focus Home Interactive, as well as developer Giant Software, have combined forces to donate $50,000 to the drought relief. Here's why I like this. First off, it's the right thing to do if you've got some extra money. But I've long since been telling Dan that me playing this game has helped feeding the world. And now it actually is. What are your thoughts?
I don't want to hear your bullshit.
It came true.
You're swapping shit around.
I don't know if this is... So, the new Farming Simulator is getting ready to come out. It's weird that it wasn't on that list that we just read, but whatever. Farming Simulator 19 launches on November 20th.
Because it's not considered one of the good games.
I mean, whoever's considering is wrong then.
Okay.
Even if this is just for marketing, it's good
It's
marketing.
good optics. Yeah, it's good optics.
Like, even if you said they're just doing this so people play their game, that's okay. Also, the only reason they were able to do this is because people play their game.
Right, because people... Right, exactly. I understand. I get it.
So... After all this time...
Hey, look, I'm glad you like Farming Simulator. I just don't.
After all this time...
I have never bagged on the game.
After all this time, Farming Simulator is actually helping feed the people.
I have never bagged on that game. I have just said it's not for me.
You sort of shit on that game.
And I think it's weird that you like it.
You sort of shit on that game.
I never shit on that game.
You sort of shit on it.
Tell me what I said that was shitting on it.
It's just a boring game where you drive around in a tractor.
That's not shitting on it. That's
not
explaining
even
what the game is to me. That's not shitting on
what
it.
it is. What about Farming Simulator O's?
I like Farming Simulator Crunch.
Motherfucker. I mean, this is a feel-good story in all seriousness. What they're going through over there, not good.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's a good thing. It's definitely a good thing. And it's
when you're on an island and you don't have any crops, it becomes an issue. Even if your island's fucking giant.
Well, yeah, but they can only farm like 25% of it. It's like all desert and rock.
Yeah. And death. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Australia's got a lot of death on it.
That's right. And it's got huge acres of nope.
Mm-hmm. There is no end in sight for the drought. So.
Yeah, unfortunately, the weather has been predicted to be worse. Or continue the status quo. No rain.
At this point, farmers would need several months of above average rain just to catch up.
And they are not looking to get that, according to Australian meteorologists.
What's this guy's name? Andrew Watkins.
Very Australian sounding name.
Yeah.
I don't know what an Australian sounding name is, so.
Andrew Watkins.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah. Fucking someone else that's Australian.
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh
Jackman.
What's the other one? Tom Cruise's ex-wife, Nicole Kidman.
Oh, Nicole Kidman. Keith Urban. He's Australian.
Keith Abbin. I like Keith.
Hi, Keith. Keith Abbin.
Australia's a fucked up looking place. You look at it on a map. It's very pretty, though. I'd rather go to New Zealand. They have less death there.
In New Zealand? Yeah, yeah. And it's mountainous and pretty.
Yeah, New Zealand's super pretty. This is your travel update show. The travel update show. That's what we call it.
The travel update show.
TUS. We call it TUS for short.
TUS.
Welcome to TUS.
One day we're going to have a cereal called Tussos.
Or TUS Crunch. The travel update show crunch. It's a good story. $50,000 is just a drop in the bucket, but the fact is they're getting out there and they could have used that money for advertising, and I prefer they do this, even if it leads to advertising.
Mm-hmm. It's always good to see some of the profits go to a good, even if it is just for a tax write-off.
Yeah. And, so I buy this game every 2 years when it comes out because they come off cycle, but I felt fine before, but I'll feel just a little better buying it this year.
Yep. This news has actually made me consider that I probably still won't buy it.
Yeah. It's good to see you've changed your heart. It's good to see. Maybe you don't care about Australia like I do. It's fine.
I love Australia, but...
It doesn't sound like you do.
Listen, there's farmers over here in America that need help, my friend.
If they made Droughtos, Dan would help them out.
Maybe if it was Drought Crunch.
Or Frosted Drought Flakes.
I don't even know what those are. I don't think I would eat those.
That's going to do it for the news.
Is that sand pounded into flakes?
What about Pound Sand cereal?
Oh, Pound Sand, buddy. Yeah, I like it.
Guess what we're not doing now?
I know what we're not doing now, and I'm super excited about it.
We're not forgetting to do Gone But Not Forgotten. We're skipping. Done. Gonzo took it out behind the barn, if you like an RDR2 reference.
We're not skipping it. We have made it gone.
Yeah.
We have made it no longer a part of the show.
Right. It's gone. See ya.
It's forgotten.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
At this point, it's never coming back. That was the worst segment we ever did.
In fairness, we've only done a couple.
By worst, win back.
Yeah.
By worst, I mean I understand the joy behind it. Us having to do it every week sucked.
It sucks.
You don't realize how lazy we really are. We didn't either until we got in the middle of Gone But Not Forgotten. We got a new perspective on our laziness.
So there's plenty of work that has to be done before each show, and none of that bothered me except for Gone But Not Forgotten.
Yeah, I hated doing the research for it.
I don't know what the problem is. That really pissed me off. Every week, it really just pissed me off when it was my turn. And it was a relief when it was your turn, even though you're going to do win back again.
I love win back.
Follow us on the social medias. I am at Podcast Ryan. Dan is at Shirtless Dan. Hoffen Show is at Hoffen Show. You like how I did that? I just made that his name.
Mm-hmm.
There's no more Gerald. It's just Hoffen Show.
It's just Hoffen Show now.
Mm-hmm.
No Gerald.
You can find us on YouTube, youtube.com/Gamestitch, or you can also find us on twitch.tv/Gamestitch. Several of you have emailed me and or texted me about the website being weird. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with it. It says it's a deceptive site, but there's nothing on there. I don't know
what deceptive means.
Yeah, I've emailed. So they said that there was at some point a phishing scam associated with that name. I have emailed Google several times asking them to check it again. To no response. So I'll keep working on trying to clear that up. I also know that the podcasts have not been moving over to YouTube exactly the same way as before. They should be there. I just think that they're not properly cataloged, and that has to do with my computer getting destroyed. Because I'll just tell you, I don't know the login for YouTube, and it goes to an email that I don't have access to. Because I also don't know the login for that. So I can't actually get back in to do that.
You can't remember any of your passwords.
I don't even know what email it's tied to. Not mine. Anyways.
Is there someone you can ask?
Yeah, Google. They've been really good at responding. Been very helpful so far. They're trying to kill off Google Plus so hard they don't care about anything I'm asking.
That seems right.
But yeah, we're aware. They're still going up on SoundCloud. They are going up on SoundCloud the same time as all other services now. They're not going up early. They're still available on Spreaker. They're still available on iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and of course they're available on iTunes and Google Play Music. So it's everywhere. Everything you need is still there. You just may not be able to listen off our site right now.
We'll try to get that fixed.
Yeah,
By we, I mean Ryan.
Yeah, we're working on it.
I'll help him try to figure out his passwords.
We're working on it. And finally, certainly not least, last but not least. No one says finally but not least.
No, you do.
How come no one says that?
Because it doesn't make any sense.
Well, last but not least is a thing, but finally but not least is not a thing.
Because last but not least. And
finally, last insinuates that you were dead last. You can't finish finally, I guess.
Just don't ever do that again.
Do you want to name this episode RDO Speedwagon?
RDO Speedwagon? That'd be awesome.
Thank you for listening is what I was going to say last, but certainly not least. Thank you for listening.
If you think about it, Speedwagon kind of plays into the whole.
Yeah.
That's it. RDO Speedwagon.
Mm-hmm. Because you could have a Speedwagon in this game. So really what we're saying is Red Dead Online Speedwagon.
Right.
RDO Speedwagon.com.
.com.
That's going to do it for us, episode 303 in the books. Thank you.
Over and out.
And good night.
Good night.